All right, welcome to the October 8th special meeting of the Glendale City Council. May we have roll call?
Yes, council members Brotman,
Here.
Arpetian,
Here.
Kasakian,
Here.
Najarian, Mayor Alsatrian.
Here. May we have your report?
Yes, the agenda for the Tuesday, October 8th, 2024 special public meeting of the City Council was posted on October 4th, 2024 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
Thank you. And what's next?
Next is the one item on the agenda, community development regarding acceptance of state funds from the State of California Governor's Office of Economic Development and authorization to negotiate with up to 2 tech startup growth program proposers to develop and implement the startup growth program's acceptance of state funds from the State of California Governor's Office of Economic Development. A motion approving acceptance of state funds in the amount of $1 million from the State of California Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development. B, resolution of appropriation in the amount of $1 million for the Glendale Tech Startup Growth Programs. And C, motion authorizing the city manager or designee to negotiate and execute professional services agreements and all related documents with Founders Boost and SmartGate VC LLC for the operation and program management of tech startup growth programs located in Glendale.
That was a mouthful. Mr. Kalanian.
Yes. Mayor Alsatrian, member City Council, it's an exciting time that we come to you with a grant thanks to State Senator Anthony Portantino, who was instrumental in securing this grant for our city and our tech community, as well as after a very lengthy selection and review process that staff will go through, selected 2 worthy entities, startups in support of our tech community in Glendale that has been in the works for a few years. With that, I'll turn it over to Shua Wang, our Community Development Deputy Director, who has a co-presenter with him, David Crawley Delgado, our Senior Economic Development Coordinator. Sure.
Thank you, Mr. Galanian. Good afternoon, Madam Mayor and City Council members. We are so excited to be here today to present an opportunity that we believe will further support and strengthen Glendale's tech and innovation ecosystem. But before we dive in, I would like to also take an opportunity to recognize and extend our gratitude to the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development and State Senator Anthony Portantino. Back in 2019, he saw the potential of Glendale's growing tech community and secured $1 million in funding to help support startups and also build innovation here in the city. This year, Senator Portantino once again championed an additional round of funding to ensure that we can sustain and also grow and accelerate the startup ecosystem here in Glendale. So we are incredibly grateful for his continued support and also commitment to Glendale's tech community. In the next few slides, we will walk you through the key milestones and achievements that have helped shape our tech and innovation journey up to this point. We'll also cover why startup ecosystems matter, dive into the RFP process, and then conclude with staff recommendations. So let's begin with the core foundation of this journey. In February 2016, the city partnered with Estelano Advisors to develop a roadmap for growing Glendale's technology sector. This resulted in the formation of the Glendale Tech Strategy, which was published and adopted by City Council in 2017. This strategy has been our guiding framework, if you will, driving our continuous efforts to support and nurture the tech community in Glendale. Since the adoption of the tech strategy, economic development has successfully implemented several recommendations, including continuation of Glendale Tech on Tap, which are monthly meetups uniting the tech community in a casual setting to discuss ideas and trends and also to connect with other entrepreneurs. In collaboration with multiple partners, We hosted our 9th annual Glendale Tech Week last month, which attracted nearly 3,000 founders, investors, and community members across 22 events throughout the week, which is a testament to its growing impact and success. And thanks to the $1 million in state funding secured in 2019, we introduced 2 startup accelerators, Hero House and KidsX, with contracts in place with these partners from 2021 to 2023. So over the past couple of years, we have expanded our resources and initiatives so that we can better support local businesses and startups. That includes, we produced a How to Do Business in Glendale guide to offer insights to businesses and business owners as well, who are looking at establishing a location here in our city. We also implemented the annual Let's Grow Glendale Small Business Summit. And this past May, we hosted the 2nd annual event, attracting nearly 400 attendees, double the turnout of the inaugural year. The summit brought together businesses, government leaders, and nonprofits to provide valuable business information and resources, including networking opportunities, because again, we want to ensure that our small businesses grow and thrive here in the city. We also launched a free human resource hotline, which is important, especially for Glendale employers, to offer expert guidance on labor and wage laws, hiring practices, labor regulations, and much more. So in June of 2022, City Council approved the city's very first 3-year economic development strategic plan, reaffirming our commitment to strengthening the tech ecosystem here and to drive sustainable economic growth in the city. The plan identifies 4 key pillars, as you can see on the screen, starting with enhancing Glendale's brand identity so that we can position the city as a top choice to live, to work, to experience, and to invest. The second element is fostering a business-friendly culture that supports business attraction as well as retention purposes. Followed by growing the tech and innovation industry so that we can attract and retain talent while also supporting the growth and success of entrepreneurs. And lastly, expanding our arts and entertainment offerings to provide a healthy mix of amenities for our residents, as well as to promote Glendale as a top destination for visitors. So as you can see, growing the tech and innovation ecosystem is at the heart of this plan. And by aligning our strategic efforts with the growth of our sector, we are ensuring that Glendale remains a competitive and business-friendly city that embraces innovation for the benefit of the entire community. And now I would like to turn it over to David Crawley Delgado, our Senior Economic Development Coordinator. For the next portion of the presentation, David actually joined the city in January of this year and brings extensive experience as a former innovation strategist at the CHLA Innovation Studio. Since he started, he has been extremely instrumental in really driving our tech initiatives here. And he also served as the project manager during the tech RFP process.
Thank you,
Welcome,
Shua.
David.
Thank you very much. Madam Mayor and Council, it's a privilege to work as part of this team as we build an even brighter future for this jewel city. As part of this presentation, we wanted to make sure we're explaining the broader context of this work and why it remains relevant. Since the adoption of the tech strategy, the city has placed an emphasis on building and maintaining a vibrant startup ecosystem to drive innovation, economic growth, and job creation. According to the Harvard Business Review, vibrant startup ecosystems attract talent and investment and create a multiplying effect where new businesses stimulate demand for services and infrastructure. Additionally, the Kauffman Foundation highlights that startups are a primary source of net new job creation, often outpacing larger firms in growth. Cities with strong ecosystems foster collaboration between academia, government, and the private sector, spurring technological advancements, positioning the city as a hub for entrepreneurial activity, and enhancing the city's global competitiveness and resilience. So how's the health of our ecosystem here in Glendale? We have a very strong tech presence here within the city, with 3 unicorns on Brand Boulevard, media and innovation giants such as the Walt Disney Company, and hundreds of small and medium-sized tech startups, and this number is growing. In total, high-tech companies employ over 12,000 individuals within the city. The city also boasts a robust network of support services and proactive government that is proudly business-friendly in approach and policy. While we have a strong tech industry presence, our tech ecosystem has an opportunity to be strengthened. We have a small yet growing investment community and are home to a few hyper-targeted accelerator programs, such as Hero House and the Disney Accelerator, who provide a large impact on a fairly narrow group of companies. While foundationally strong, this growing ecosystem has the need for additional programs to fill some of the remaining gaps. There still exists an opportunity to expand the number of services available to startups and create stronger connections to corporate partners, educational institutions, and the entrepreneurs driving innovation here in Glendale. The purpose of this RFP is to recruit, select, and fund programs that will showcase the local startup community and provide emerging companies with the tools and support they need to thrive in today's market, to promote Glendale and the region as an innovation hub, to attract and retain a diverse pool of tech talent in Glendale and the broader area, and to drive local economic development through supporting entrepreneurs and potential high-growth startups that may generate revenue, create high-paying jobs, and create products and ideas that are solving meaningful problems. In order to achieve the city's goal of diversifying and broadening the startup ecosystem within the city, the RFP was written to split the $1 million grant between two operators over the course of the 3-year term. Submissions included an overview of the proposed growth programs, as well as a budget for how the $500,000 in funds would be utilized. Applicants had the option to include in their proposal a second program structure and budget for the full $1 million if the selection committee could consider that as well. The RFP was distributed widely in order to attract the highest tier of applicant. In addition to the typical outlets that the city uses, the RFP was distributed to the local and national outlets specific to the tech community. All applicants of the 2019 grant were also invited to apply. In total, the RFP was distributed to 194 publications and journalists, community groups, and interested parties, many of whom redistributed the information on their own platforms. This allowed visibility that attracted applicants from across the entire United States. The selection committee was comprised of subject matter experts with diverse backgrounds, perspectives, and expertise. We selected judges to fit 7 personas representing viewpoints that allowed for a recommendation that has considered how the operators will improve the city's tech ecosystem, advance the startups within their programs, increase the city's reputation, and elevate the city's role as a collaborative and driving member of the SoCal tech scene. In total, 17 proposals met the requirements for this RFP and were reviewed by the selection committee. The top 5 proposals were brought in for interviews. The committee identified 2 proposals that, in their expert opinion, best achieved the RFP's goals and advanced the city's tech strategy. The 2 proposals are the Glendale Growth Alliance, led by Founders Boost, and Venture Building Program, led by SmartGate VC. The Founders Booth Foundation proposes partnering with the Hacker Fund and the Alliance for SoCal Innovation to establish, launch, and operate the Glendale Growth Alliance. This program aims to support underrepresented founders from the LA region, attracting them to the Glendale ecosystem. The core initiative revolves around biannual Founders Boost accelerators focused on scalable tech startups led by underrepresented founders. Graduates will receive support to enter the Alliance for SoCal Innovation's SoCal Venture Pipeline, providing them with further opportunities for growth and investment. In addition, the Glendale Growth Alliance has proposed hosting large-scale hackathons within the city of Glendale, hosted by the Hacker Fund, bringing together students, entrepreneurs, and innovators from across the region to collectively solve pressing problems. The selection committee appreciated how these programs touched on every stage of the startup journey, from idea development through company founding and growth. Additionally, the committee appreciated the focus on providing opportunity for underrepresented founders, as well as engaging students and the non-founder community. SmartGate VC proposes a venture building program, which will be a premier studio located here within the city of Glendale. Its mission will be to bridge the gap between cutting-edge research and market-ready products by fostering collaborations between academic institutions and industry leaders. With a focus on laboratories in universities across Southern California, the proposed venture building program will be dedicated to building companies from groundbreaking technologies, focusing on real-world applications of artificial intelligence. The objective will be to build businesses, to help founders raise pre-seed funding following the program, to establish operations here in Glendale, and to acquire their very first paying customers. The selection committee saw value in this bridge that would be created between the research institutions and the business community, and recognizes how this program will greatly strengthen the incubator network within Glendale and the broader LA region. Funding both programs will allow these two operators to work symbiotically, not detracting from either program, but allowing each to amplify the other's impact. The selection committee feels confident that funding these two programs will be a powerful step for the city towards achieving the vision of Glendale as a vibrant tech hub. Additionally, I'd like to quickly walk through the key milestones in this process. The RFP was released on May 15th of 2024, and after a pre-bid conference and a period to submit written questions and receive answers, proposals were due on July 12th. After reviewing all the proposals, the selection committee identified the top 5 and invited those operators to follow-up interviews during the week of August 20th. After discussion and deliberation, the committee reached a unanimous vote to recommend awarding $500,000 each over 3 years to the Venture Building Program and the Glendale Growth Alliance Program.
Thank you, David. So to quickly recap, both applicants have a proven track record of building successful startup ecosystems locally. They are dedicated to supporting Glendale's technology growth and remain actively engaged in fostering collaboration and innovation within the community. In addition, they both have strong connections to Glendale and the broader tech community, including ties with educational institutions, investors, startups, you name it. They also have expressed a strong commitment to remaining in Glendale, further solidifying their role in our community's growth. And these efforts align perfectly with the goals and objectives of our economic development strategic plan and the Glendale Tech Strategy. So we are definitely feeling confident in terms of their continued partnership as far as it driving local innovation and also elevating Glendale's global brand and reputation as a tech hub. So in closing, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to City Council for your leadership and ongoing support of economic development. A very special thank you to the amazing selection committee for all of their time and hard work throughout this intensive process. I also want to take a moment to thank all the interested applicants for dedicating a lot of time and effort in putting together their proposals and submitting it to the city. And lastly, I also want to acknowledge our very own Sevak Deshoyan in economic development for his creativity and assistance in putting together this PowerPoint presentation. So this leads me to the staff recommendation. We recommend that City Council accept the $1 million in state funding and allocate the funds for the tech startup growth programs, followed by authorize the city manager or designee to negotiate and execute all agreements and related documents with both Founders Boost and SmartGate VC in the amount of $500,000 each for a period of 3 years. So with that, this concludes our presentation. We're happy to answer any questions you may have. We also have both operators in the audience to answer questions as well. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to make a few comments, and then if my colleagues are okay with it, we can go to, we have 1 card and 12 callers. Would you like to have your questions answered first, or you want to hear the?
I can hear from folks.
Okay. Okay, you know what, I'll hold off my comments too. Why don't we take the, thank you for the presentation. Is that still at 12? Okay, so let's do 2 minutes each. Thank you.
Our first public comment is by Jeff Harris. Jeff, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mayor and council members. My name is Jeff Harris. I'm here today to support Funders Boost. I am the former director of school and community partnerships with Compton Unified School District. I also currently serve as the board chair of Food Forward, a nonprofit that prevents food waste and fights hunger. I'm here to really attest to Funder Boost and Hackers Fund and their commitment and competency in working with underrepresented and underserved communities, especially communities of color. At Compton Unified, I worked, it's a pleasure to work with these folks. They bring an energy and a stick-to-itiveness that you've never seen before. But also, I've worked with them as they put together our Compton Tech Week. They helped with our Compton Unified STEAM Fest and came to support our Computer Science Week every single year. Moreover, I recently had the opportunity to participate as a judge in one of their hackathons, and I didn't really know what to expect, but wow, the solutions and proposals and programs that the students, the young people came up with absolutely blew my mind. I was thinking these were all college students, and so yeah, I'll judge some college projects. But several of them I thought were absolutely market ready, to the point where not only did I connect one of the teams to a venture capitalist that I know that works in the climate change area, but also I'm finding ways to bring in one of the projects to help with our work at Food Forward. So that's all I have to say. Funders Boost would be a great addition to the Glendale community, and I'm happy to have your attention today.
Thank you. Our first caller is Stefan Rappaport. Stefan, you're on air. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Mayor and council members. My name is Steve Rappaport. I am the CEO of National High School Career Day Network. This is a nonprofit organization. I previously retired from the Beverly Hills Unified School District after serving almost 30 years with responsibilities that included serving as the Director of Career Development and the ROP program. In the program, I was a member of the 23 school district steering committee, so I served with Glendale Unified. I had the privilege to work with Justin Brezhnev as a former student and as the executive director of Hacker Fund, as well as several other members of the organization who participated in the career events I coordinate for high schools. They're dedicated to education, and I want to express my support of the Glendale Growth Alliance with Founders Boost, Alliance for SoCal Innovation, and the Hacker Fund. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next caller is Tori Wright. Tori, you're on air. You have 2 minutes.
Hello, my name is Tori Wright, and I work in Glendale currently, and I volunteer with Hacker Fund to inspire youth through hackathons, and I am calling to express my support of the Glendale Growth Alliance program with Founders Boost, Alliance for SoCal Innovation, and Hacker Fund. I'm very excited for more opportunities to inspire the generation of innovators coming from the city of Glendale. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next caller is George Francisco. George, you're on air. You have 2 minutes.
Very much. Mayor, council members, my name is George Francisco. I'm calling you today from my community in Venice. But my connection to your community and city in Glendale comes from being one of the co-chairs of the LA County BizFed Arts, Entertainment, and Sports Committee and a member of our Technology and Innovation Committee. What you have here is an incredibly important opportunity for the region and for your city to provide an enthusiastic framework to create the next generation of vibrant employment and to help the overall growth and development of Los Angeles as a county. Our region needs good jobs, and I'm sure without hesitation you will pass this motion because it's incredibly important, not just for your city, but for the region. Obviously, in Venice, we have a deep connection to our tech community, and I would like to take an opportunity to echo the gentleman before me and at least speak to the relationship that I've had with Hacker Fund and with Justin Brezhnev. I can validate that you will never have a more enthusiastic a more dedicated and an organization with more integrity to come and help create the next generation of employees. Again, I encourage you to support the motion and to pass it forthwith. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Our next caller is Patricia Spencer. Patricia, you're on air. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you for this opportunity to comment. I'm Patty Spencer. As a master's degree level public administrator for 3 decades, I served as a federal, state, local grant writer and chief grants director with a career total of $500 million in public grant and contract awards. My professional records of over the 30-year period of successfully administrating government grants, contracts, and private funding to maintain financial legal compliance resulted in 100% clean audit findings on every grant and contract award under my management. I'm grateful for the opportunity to share this experience with Hacker Fund's CEO and in my role on the Hacker Fund Board of Directors as the board chair. I have professionally invested in Hacker Fund's work, such as this project, supporting entrepreneurs from Glendale to unlock the power of grant funding for their civic technologies. I'm calling in today to give my enthusiastic support for the Glendale Growth Alliance with Founders Boost, Alliance for SoCal Innovation, and Hacker Fund. Our entire team at Hacker Fund is excited to serve the community, and we thank you for the opportunity to be part of this experience. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next caller is Scott Witt. Scott, you're on air. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Good afternoon. I've been a Glendale resident for over 20 years, and in that time, I've been an entrepreneur and a startup and investment advisor. I've also been helping to educate founders at accelerators, universities, and community and industry organizations, including Glendale's Tech on Tap. And so I enthusiastically support the selection of the Founders Boost program. And this is based on my personal experience as a mentor at Founders Boost, my ongoing work with some of their graduates, including a female CEO whose award-winning startup is now working with a parent of Louis Vuitton, that's LVMH, and also in my ongoing conversations with Blake, the Founders Booth CEO, where we talk about new ways to help underrepresented founders to build successful businesses. I'm also a member of the evaluation committee for the SoCal Venture Pipeline and can vouch for their commitment to growing our community of founders. So over the years, we've all seen a lot of startup theater, but let me tell you, Founders Boost and these other organizations are the real deal. So I look forward to supporting their work here in Glendale. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next caller is Eva Vang. Eva, you're on air. You have 2 minutes.
Good afternoon. My name is Eva Vang. I'm an immigrant entrepreneur, technologist, and community organizer who went to middle and high school in the LA County. I'm also the founder and CEO of Impact, a technology company that connects people inspired by media storytelling with call to actions to make a real impact in their community. And prior to that, I built the sales and community function at Notion after founding the largest collegiate hackathon in the United States called CalHacks at my alma mater, UC Berkeley. Now, prior to organizing CalHacks, I attended HackTech in 2014, which is Caltech's hackathon organized by Justin Brezhnev, the executive director of Hacker Fund, where I was bitten by the hackathon bug all over again and became champion for youth development through invention-based learning. I serve on the board of directors at Hacker Fund and have volunteered to give back to my community and inspire youth from the city of Glendale through the hackathon support we have provided across Upstart Valley with our team of technology mentors. I'm calling in to give my support for Glendale Growth Alliance with Founders Boost, Alliance for SoCal Innovation, and Hacker Fund. Hackathons and community are a key part of what made me the person I am today, and I can't wait to pass it forward. Our team at Hacker Fund is extremely excited to serve the community and build and inspire the next generation of innovators. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next caller is Christy Onghango. Christy, you're on air. You have 2 minutes.
Hi, my name is Giselle Onghango. I'm calling in to voice my support for the Glendale Growth Alliance with Founder Boost, the Alliance SoCal Innovation Hacker Fund. I grew up in LA County and San Fernando Valley and graduated at UCLA, and I've had the pleasure of volunteering as a Hacker Fund mentor since its inception in 2014. I've helped their efforts in launching the first ever Compton Innovation Center, the first ever Compton Tech Week, and the first Hacktoberfest with the LA Mayor's Office. Throughout my career, I led technology and marketing teams at companies like Snapchat and TikTok, where I ensured we continue to invest into the communities to provide workforce development opportunities. By supporting Glendale Growth Alliance at Founder Boost, the Alliance for SoCal Innovation and Hacker Fund, I believe the City of Glendale will ensure that no student is left behind as the digital world advances. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next caller is Emmy Weiner. Emmy, you're on air. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mayor and City Councils. My name is Emmy Weiner, and I'm currently work at Google, focusing on startups. As a hackathon volunteer, judge, and partner with the Hackathon, I work with their team to bring more resources that they need to use across Los Angeles County today. I'm calling to express my support of the Glendale Growth Alliance program with Founders Boost, Alliance for SoCal Innovation, and a Hacker Fund. Today, I'm actively working with the Hacker Fund to inspire youth from Los Angeles County to submit their innovations to our hackathon by October 15th. They'll get a chance to demo in front of panels of technology inventors, venture capitalists, and entrepreneurs from the Forbes 30 Under 30 list during the LA Tech Week. This is still time to sign up for the website. www.gain.la is the website to sign up, and then we hope to see more Glendale youth in a hackathon. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next caller is Mosher Gevorkian. Mosher, you're on air. You have 2 minutes.
Good afternoon, dear Mayor and Council members. My name is Moshe Georgian. I'm the CEO and founder of Dura Technologies, and I recently moved to Glendale from Armenia to grow my business in the region. I'm calling to say that I'm really thrilled to see SmartGate VC and Hero House as one of the potential operators for the venture building program. Actually, we have been part of the Hero House community since day one, and Hero House was one of the key landing places and supporters when we were exploring the LA Tech scheme. And basically, they are the reason that I chose Glendale when I was looking where to move in the U.S. What is more important, with the help of Hero House, we signed our first contract with a big company located in the Glendale just within the first month of my arrival. So I'm really excited to see that the Hero House and SmartGate VC will hopefully potentially continue having its big impact in startup ecosystem here in Glendale. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next caller is Moaz Hamid. Moaz, you're on air. You have 2 minutes.
Good afternoon. Glendale City Council. I am Moaz Hamid, and I'm a venture capitalist. I'm the managing director of Movement Venture and the board of director and a trustee of the Consumer Technology Association Foundation. I'm calling to express my support of Founder Boost for the Glendale Growth Alliance program. The resources that I received from Founder Boost has been critical to my journey and helped me grow from entrepreneur into investor, mentor, and philanthropist. I'm excited to see Glendale's tech strategy continue to head and strengthen in this direction because it will help the city of Glendale create more opportunity locally for entrepreneurs and drive venture capital funding into the community, inspiring the next generation of innovators and creating more local jobs. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next caller is Arezu Agassi. Arezu, you're on air. You have 2 minutes.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Arezu Agassi. I am a venture capitalist at CREA. I'm here to support the initiative by Founders Boost, the Alliance for SoCal Innovation and Hackers Fund. My background is I'm also an immigrant where I was born in Cyprus and then raised here in SoCal for my undergrad, for my elementary school and high school. And then I went to UC Berkeley for my bachelor's and master's. On top of that, I'm a 25-time hackathon winner where some of the wins led to building out features for the big companies and senior leadership from Deloitte for focusing on Fortune 100 companies. I'm calling in to express my support given that Alliance for SoCal Innovation Team Founders Boost and Hackers Fund will allow for our fund to bring in current and upcoming investment opportunities, hiring opportunities, and research and innovation to the city of Glendale in contribution to the Glendale Growth Alliance. The startups that come from Founders Boost have supported our deal flow and development efforts, and this initiative is also very important to me coming from a immigrant entrepreneur mindset and supporting underrepresented founders and communities.
Thank you. Our final caller is Sari Bachu. Sari, you're on air. You have 2 minutes.
Hello, council members, mayor. My name is Sri Bachu. I am the vice president of innovation banking at HSBC. Prior to my role at HSBC, I served as the director of business development and community at Bioscience LA, which was an incubator and accelerator funded by LA County that was based in Culver City. I personally am responsible for writing the grant proposal for the Kids X Accelerator while I was at Children's Hospital Los Angeles. I was also a founding team member of Kids X. I am calling in today to provide my support for the Glendale Growth Alliance, specifically for Founders Boost, Alliance for SoCal Innovation, and Hacker Fund. I will say Blake Caldwell, Steve Gillison, Andy Wilson, Justin Brezhnev, these individuals have dedicated a large portion of their lives for supporting the overall innovation ecosystem in LA and beyond. So having people like this at the helm of this program is people that you want because these are very heavy hitters. So today I'm calling in for that support. I can personally put my own name on it that these people will do wonders for the city of Glendale. I can guarantee it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that is all for the calls.
Were those real calls or AI generated? Thank you for everybody for calling in. All right. Do my colleagues have questions?
I don't have any questions. I have comments. I can get into it right now.
Let's see if anyone has questions. And
I have
then,
a couple of questions.
so, Councilmember Garabedian, do you have questions?
I want to hear from some of the folks. Yeah. So.
Okay, so
You have speakers cards?
no more speaker cards. So if you have questions, please ask your questions, and then Councilmember Brotman has some additional questions.
Okay, so this $1 million is being divided between two companies, Founders Boost, and my time is already up? That was the AI. And SmartGate VC LLC, am I correct, Mr. City Manager? And for the last 3 or 4 years, the first round of funding that came in, I think for next year or the following year when these programs are implemented, I'd like to have some sort of a report as to what the results of our programs are. We have 12,000 employees in high tech today in Glendale. Have they increased or not? Or the companies that we have, how many more companies came to Glendale? And also, as far as the programs go, some of the callers mentioned programs with the high schools and our kids. I would like to get some information about that as to what kind of programmings do we have to build the base for them. And on page 18 of 222, it says that there are 8 startups that was run by Founders Boost, that it goes on and tells us what they were provided. I would like to know what their what's their status today out of those 8 startups, and have they succeeded? Because we know it's very difficult with the startup world, and I don't know how many, very few really hit the high note, if you will. I would like to get some answers on that as to the ones that were already helped, how many of them succeeded, and where they are at this time.
Councilmember Carpadian, if I may have the Founders Boost operator come up to share more in terms of the successes that you had inquired about.
Welcome. Thank you for applying.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. And definitely want to start. So I'm Blake Caldwell, CEO of Founders Boost, and thanks for having me. And also thank you to not only the evaluation committee, but to you two for doing such a great job of putting this together. Very professional, and it's been a pleasure working with them. And with Founders Boost, I guess what would be helpful is to kind of understand our background. So we've been operating for over 7 years. We've helped 20 different ecosystems bring startup programming like these to their ecosystems. In that time, we've been able to help over 600 startups and over 1,000 founders. And of them, we get about 20% that go on to raise significant funding. And they've gone on to raise over 300 million to date. And get into the top accelerators out there like Y Combinator and Techstars. And our goal is to be part of this venture path forward and be kind of the early step towards that direction. We're also passionate about making sure we support underrepresented founders. So, this doesn't mean that these are founders that are incapable or unjust at being helped. It's just that these are founders who are amazing, but don't necessarily have all the resources as everybody else. And that's what we're here to fix. And we do that through mentorship programming and bring in people who can help figure out where they're at. At this point in time, these startups don't have a book to read anymore. Their path is not written for them. They need to figure it out. And so it's good to get this mentorship and bring that into it. And because of that, we've actually had, and to your question, some startup successes over the years that, across our different programs. I think one of our earliest programs, and it's a long journey forward. It's, if you think about the venture timeline, that's a 10-year investment. For these startups, in the last 7 years, one of the earliest ones have actually gone on to raise, think about Caper, which was a checkoutless shopping cart. They raised 15 million, and then were able to exit and kind of relatively early in the process for 350 million to Instacart. They're one of our largest successes. Got to it early, so it's nice to talk about them. And then also some others in Los Angeles. We have a company currently operating called Rejewel, and they focus on battery technology sensors. And so being able to actually test, if you don't know this, but we don't know how much energy is in batteries. Like, we don't have that capability, and they're trying to create innovations to be able to do that accurately rather than just kind of generally. And they've raised over 23 million so far with the most recent investment from the Department of Energy. They're now based out of Long Beach, Signal Hill area. And I mean, so we have a bunch of, I'm just giving you a few different examples. I think today we have, I have a list, easily 2 from every cohort, so that we've run 90 programs and 14, 15 cohorts. So we have, over 50 companies that are still, raising, doing great things. I think we're at probably like 100 plus. Another one I'll just highlight quickly is one you guys might find interesting, you all might find interesting, is Abstract. They do government affairs, technology, trying to innovate the ability for people to be part of the legislative process. Rather than people, it's more organizations to be part of the legislative process here in California is where they're starting. And all parties, including lobbyists, but also any corporation, making it easy to not only see what's going on, but also be able to help draft and work on that. Did that cover your question? I'd love to see if there's a follow-up.
Thank you. And also with this limited budget that you have for next 2 or 3 years, how many applicants do you think they're going to apply, or how many applications do you have already? How many people can be served with this? The budget that we have.
We're breaking this into 2 different accelerators. We're going to be giving a focus to each, which will be a B2B accelerator and also a B2C accelerator. Really trying to focus on, still be broad, and be able to kind of capture all of the market, but be able to have a focus to each one of those. With those, in each of them, we'll have 8 startups that go through them. Typically, we have about 100 applications that get there. So we have less than 10% of the companies that we're able to support, but we always hope that they come back again. And we have additional resources that we share with them on their journey too. But yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Councilmember Robin.
Yeah, actually, if you could stick around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just trying to learn a little bit more. So
one question I have a few questions, but one of them is, so Founders Boost, you're the CEO, or you're the founder of Founders Boost. And then I know there's Hacker Fund and Alliance for SoCal Innovation. Can you just talk a little bit about how you all work together, what roles you play?
Yeah. And I mean, I spoke there. I would definitely want them to come up quickly and speak, for their part as well. But as you think about the startup journey, there's the beginning where you are excited, you have an idea, you're either inspired, and that's one of the things that hackathons are great at doing. They're able to bring the community together. Those that are working in the Googles, the Disneys, and whatnot, to come here and support and provide mentors to students, to young. Age doesn't matter, but oftentimes that tends to be there. Who are aspiring to figure out, how do I take these ideas? How do I actually go about build things? And where do I find people to do this with and get inspired to do that? So they are inspiring ideas and creation in your community. And then from there,
and before you go on from and they're going to run 2 or how many of these kind of hackathon events will they be hosting here?
Well, Justin, why don't you come up and
okay.
He definitely does a better job of talking about this than me.
Well, because you're going through each one, and then I just
absolutely. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm very excited for this opportunity to discuss the Glendale Growth Alliance.
Your name for the record.
Oh, please. For the record, my name is Justin Brezhnev. I'm the executive director of Hacker Fund, and I'm one of the supporting partners of the Glendale Growth Alliance project. I'm particularly very excited about the funnel that we've designed, the Glendale Growth Alliance funnel. The hackathons are the tip of the funnel. I don't have it on me right now, but there's an Arduino over there that I can grab real quickly. This is the hackathons. The hackathons are where you will discover a device like this. And then when you discover a device like this, the Arduino, you're able to learn how to build a lot of the stuff that is allocated money right now, microcontrollers, the Chips and Science Act. This is where it begins. And our hackathons, the 4 hackathons that we're going to do, quarterly hackathons, to engage the local Glendale Community College. Our hackathon director, Yiyen, she was trying to call in, Yiyen Ong. She's a graduate of Glendale Community College, and then she went out to UCLA and has been working with us ever since. She's on public comments trying to get in. But these hackathons specifically are to inspire students and give them access to the mentor-guided, computer-mediated, invention-based learning environment. And this is where they will discover what an Arduino is, so that when they go into the Glendale Growth Alliance, next piece of the funnel, which is the Founders Boost program, they actually know the technologies, the underlying technologies that are going to make them successful. And then they can enter the second, the Founders Boost, for the capacity building services that they provide as an accelerator. So the hackathon specifically, 4 quarterly hackathons is our goal for the budget that was allocated, and then also monthly hack nights, meetups, and making the Glendale Community College as accessible as possible for the companies like a Google, Apple, Microsoft, Disney, so they can hire them. Because we've noticed after returning 10 years old in 7 days, and we've realized after 10 years of doing hackathons, it really is the community colleges that have a lot of the talent. I graduated UCLA, and I can tell you from working with all the different universities, it really is the community colleges that have the hungriest talent. So we're here to give you opportunities, and we're here to empower the students. We're excited that we have a hackathon director that is Glendale grown. So thank you.
So the hackathon basically is this one activity. You say they're 4 a year. You bring in, people can join and their teams, and they try to kind of on the spot develop ideas and products and that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And then how does that fit in then maybe the next phase? Because does that feed into these cohorts?
Yes.
I'm trying to see how the 3 pieces come together.
The hackathons themselves, on my notes here, for example, the hackathons that we worked with, for example, they produce the kind of founders that are able to raise a Series A that's $30 million. For example, if you look at George Savolka from Space Apps Next Gen, he was one of the organizers. We supported him. He's a high school student. Now he's raising a Series A because he's gone through the kinds of accelerator programs, and he's gone, those kinds of students are the kinds of folks that have gotten to resources like a Founders Boost. So we're going to prepare them through the hackathons to be able to apply for the Founders Boost so that a company can actually come out. So like, for example, the TechCrunch hackathon, there was a app called Verbin that was actually made by a Beverly Hills alum named Angel Say, and then after he won that hackathon, he then applied using that technology to Y Combinator. Then he raised a round, and then he went off to now he works with Procore and a bunch of different construction companies to be able to use virtual reality, mixed reality to make urban planning more efficient, effective, and cost less money. So our goal here is to use the hackathons to mold the founders so that they're founder ready, mold the students so that they can be excited about the fact that their inventions can save the world. We're also the fiscal sponsor for Hack for LA. So our focus has consistently been to create civic technologies, stuff that can really help the city. And then our goal is the hackathon is to usher them in to the kind of programming that a Founders Boost can then give them the next level of support so that they are ready for a Techstars. They are ready for a Y Combinator.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then,
Did you have-
So,
Okay.
yeah, and there is a direct path from hackathons there. There's also the startup journey is never consistent, so there can be various other paths. Whether it may take them another year as they're figuring things out, building their companies. But Founders Boost helps companies in a stage where they have a product, they have a team, they have essentially some market validation. So a product could be as little as an MVP, like a minimum viable product that customers can engage with, or you might hear it as like a beta or alpha product. But they have market validation where maybe they've done amazing customer research, or they've got customers and they have revenue. Fantastic. But there's a stage where at that point in time you're now in live and ready to go, and it's hard to really kind of figure out where you need to focus. Over the years, where we were helping was finding information for people back in the day. Now it's about what to focus on because there's too much information out there. Well, not a bad thing, but it's hard to focus on it. And that's where mentors come in, and to help them be like, great, but you have a huge red flag over here. You're trying to get investment, but you haven't solved this problem, or you haven't answered this question. Now let's go figure that out and solve it. Come back to me next week, and then we iterate through that. And then I'm going to ask the Alliance for Southern California Innovation to come up here to talk about that. So
are you asking for this information?
Yes.
You want? Okay.
Yes,
All
I
right.
want to understand because there are these three.
Yeah.
I want to understand how this whole thing works.
Is that going to move your decision? I'm just trying to figure out. We have a long closed session, so.
Okay, I would like to know what
right.
I'm getting into here.
Eric is brief, I'm sure, and I'll pass it off. And yeah, they're able to pass it off.
Thank you. I will be brief. My name is Eric Eide. I'm Managing Director of our Capital Access Programs at the Alliance for SoCal Innovation. Spent the biggest bulk of my period of time in public service, so I really appreciate all the work that you all are trying to do and the staff has done so diligently. Real quickly, the Alliance for SoCal Innovation opens up doors to venture capital that are difficult for founders to open on their own. It's a very closed system, and we use our network to give people access that don't have that access. Now, in order to do that, we run a selective program because we will not be able to keep the attention and the engagement of the venture capitalists that we know without making sure that they're truly venture ready. Now, what's beautiful about this partnership with Hacker Fund and Founders Boost is if they're not ready, and we only accept generally about 12% of the companies, we have partners, credible partners that have a wonderful reputation and track record throughout LA County to help them do that capacity building, get them prepared so they can come back when they're ready to raise that first institutional check. And that check is 1 million plus. And this is what's exciting for cities is when you start getting that kind of capital, that means you can start hiring high-paying jobs. This is what really buoys the quality of life in our communities. And I'll stop there. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks. And that was mainly it. And I just want to say to SmartGate VC, you're probably not hearing a lot of questions and not a lot of calls because we know you already. So thank you.
All right. Councilmember Kasakia.
I only have comments. First of all, I'm also very excited by the prospect of having these two organizations work here in Glendale to help grow and enhance our tech ecosystem. One comment, though, I do have a question. I was glad to see the Evite CEO as part of the panel that made the selections, but you had a list of Glendale-based unicorns. Is Evite not considered one of those since they moved their headquarters here, or was that just an omission? I don't even know what unicorn necessarily means, just something I hear and I just go with it. But I know that they're one of the big tech companies that decided to relocate to their headquarters to Glendale, correct?
Correct, yeah. So Unicorn is a valuation of over $1 billion within kind of that startup phase before you go public. There are a lot of other kind of requirements that go into it as well, but that's just the sticky note version of that. And so the three companies that are listed there are truly Glendale born and raised, and they are companies that were started and have grown into unicorn status within that area. Evite is definitely a huge tech company that's within there. I think it typically falls outside of that unicorn realm just because of its maturity, honestly. But it's one of the major players, and David Yoam, of course, has been a fantastic support and champion of tech within the city.
All right. Well, by maturity, you probably mean age. And I remember when I started using the internets or the interwebs, I remember Evite. But we're very glad to have them in Glendale as well. So again, we know SmartGate, as was mentioned. We know their work. Very excited to have them back, and very excited to add Founders Boost to this as well. Good to see former Councilmember Wilson from Pasadena here. Thank you for visiting the best city in the Tri-City area, gracing us with your presence. But I'm very confident that with the two of you working in concert with one another, we're going to be able to do great things, both for the local economy, creating jobs, and doing some very interesting and great things in the field of innovation. So that's it. And again, of course, thank you to Senator Portantino for having faith in us and in Glendale. That's all.
Thanks. So I'll start off by thanking staff. I'm going to reiterate some comments I made during the staff briefing. But this is the best report I've ever seen in the last 2 years, at least that I've been here. When it comes, yeah, I think it. And, I say this as somebody that has continually questioned our procurement and RFP process, in hoping that we create a more transparent process. And what I absolutely loved about this report was not just the background going back all the way to when it started, as somebody that has been here for 2 years and hasn't been part of that process before, but also the thoughtfulness in which you put in the outreach to get proposals. A lot of times when we've had other RFP processes, you've heard me time and again comment on, well, who did we reach out to? What list did we use? And not only seeing the list in the report, which gave me confidence in your process, but also the thoroughness that you kind of went through, and it wasn't just some like, hey, these are the email addresses we have, so this is where we're going to send it, or we posted it on our site, so therefore we notified people. And this is what like going above and beyond looks like. And this is my opportunity to signal every other department in saying that when we talk about a transparent RFP process, when we talk about creating the kind of panels that give confidence to the decision-making process, I will say that initially when I saw the headline of us splitting the $1 million, I had concerns about, is that going to really work out for both of the companies? But seeing who you had on the panel and the caliber of people that you had on the panel that made this decision, the reason that I don't have any questions today is because you brought in experts and you created a process that was not only thorough, but a process that I trusted. And so I think the caliber of people that you had on the panel also gave me the confidence that they are from this industry and they will know this and how this can be best spent way better than I can. I'm not in tech. So kudos to staff, like through and through. Please keep up the good work. And I guess, David, welcome to Glendale. And Sebak, thanks for the awesome presentations all the time. But I think with that, I clearly support the recommendation. And I want to say thank you to Senator Portantino and to all the applicants. The one comment I did make during the staff briefing was that my hope is that these two companies can actually work together hand in hand, because you are servicing two different sectors. And even, figuring out how we're doing some PR around both of you. So, for example, if someone's going to SmartGate site, they see that, for, mid-size or small or any of the stuff that the other company's doing, there's really like a collaboration between the two, right? And you're doing the same thing for SmartGate, as it pertains to the programming for Glendale. So I think the more collaborative we can be, the bigger and better our tech ecosystem in Glendale can be. So I appreciate everybody's thoughtfulness in this, and I obviously support it. Thank you again. Right. If there are no more comments, do I have
a motion?
We're moving 1, 2, and 3 at the same time, right? No.
On A, B, and C, you have two motions and a resolution.
Okay.
All right. I'll make all three of those.
All right, roll call.
Second.
Councilmember Brotman,
Yes.
Garpetian,
Yes.
Kasakian,
Yes.
Najarian, and Mayor Asadurian.
Yes. Thank you again. And then we have,
Adjournment?
do we have any cards or callers for?
No, we don't.
Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All right. Are we just rolling in? Do we need a screen change?